Hey everyone, this video is about the upper oil pan in a Power Stroke Ford 6.7. This is out of a 2017 that I'm rebuilding this machine right here. And this was in an accident. This is really the easy way to do this oil pan. So I was going to do it when it was in the frame and decided that this was probably the best way to do it here. So rolled out the frame this morning and got everything out of the way. That's ready to go. And then I actually got a second gantry up here and chained up the engine and ended up putting these chains they would hold this engine, but to steady it, make sure it's nice and stable, I put a couple center blocks underneath and some wood. And the chains really have the majority of the weight, but the rest of it is being held by the blocks. So anyway, this upper oil pan, when I started for the first time, oil started puking out of it. After further investigation, I realized that down the bottom, right in the front here, some part of the frame or something hit right underneath, and there's a good size hole right in the pan. So ordered a new pan. It's over here. And what I did to prep is got the pages from the manual, and I went down and I marked the torque sequence on this, which is one of the most important things. So every single hole, there's some there, some on the side, and these are down on the bottom, and the rest are here. So yeah, the sequence for this, I believe, not the sequence, but the items you have to take are off, or right here in the back is the oil filter housing, and the starter goes right here. If you were going to do this in the truck, then the lower pan, and there's some studs around the corner, which are a little hard to see there, but I can show you on the other oil pan. And then the oil cooler on this side, which I'll show you when I get it off. But there's a couple bolts around the oil cooler, and that should come right off. I got new gaskets for everything, of course, and this should go pretty easy, especially with it being out of the truck. So if it were in the truck, one of the procedures is to say to take the flex plate off. But I think that's just to get it up over the cross member, because what you're supposed to do is jack it up just a little bit, and you wouldn't have enough clearance to actually slide it backwards. But what I'm going to try to do is do it without it, which will make this job a little bit easier. So I'm going to start by taking off this harness in the front. There's two studs. Oop, it's in the way. There's a stud right there and a stud right there. There's two on the sides. One is right here. It's a little hard to see right there. And there's one behind it in the back right there. And once I get that harness off, like I said, the oil filter housing's already off. I'm going to take the oil cooler off this side, which should be pretty easy from here. And yeah, there's the lower oil pan I'll take off next. I've already drained the oil more than a couple weeks ago when I took this apart for the first time. So hopefully it's pretty clean on the inside. Then get it scraped off and back together. There's 25 bolts here on the bottom, so more to come. All right, so where are we at? The oil cooler's off, and just a note to everyone out there, these gaskets here came on the new pan, so if you're thinking of ordering them, you don't need to. I forgot the connector right there to the upper oil pan, but I'll get that in a second. Next thing is everything's off the front on those studs. And like I said, this is where the filter housing would go. The other stud is off, so it's just these 25 bolts and this will be coming out. I will try to get some of it, but it's really hard to hold the phone and do this at the same time. All right, so this is the back of the pan underneath the upper oil pan. And there's, if I can get that one, there's one there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then the rest of them are up in the corner there. All right, well, it's out. It was easy, but not easy. I could see getting it in the truck that it could be a little bit of a challenge, especially to separate the plate. So all the bolts came out just fine. One notable thing is all these bolts are the same length, but this one and this one were just a little bit longer. And then down here, the one, I guess that would be driver's side, in the center, that's the same as the ones out here. And this one, this one, this one, this one, and that one are all the same. These two were the same as the rest out front here too. So these ones are real long, those ones are short, and not too bad. There's a little bit of a flange on here, so you don't try to mar up the surface. You can kind of get your pry bar or screwdriver in there and just open it up just a little bit, and then you would take and run your putty knife down just to kind of loosen the stuff up. And then it eventually will come out, but it holds on pretty well. So there's the problem. That's why I had to replace it. So, oh well. That's another, I don't know, it was about 300 bucks with the pan and all the parts to put it back together. So, but at least it'll be done. I know other people have had problems with them leaking. So we'll get this cleaned up and put it back together, and that part should be fixed. All right, so pan's off, like I said in the last part of the video, and now I'm using this Motorcraft silicone gasket remover. They recommended their products, and normally I would just scrape this off and use some brake clean, but I definitely don't want to do this again, so I'm going to do it by the book. And I have a plastic scraper. I spray this on. We'll see how this works. I'll be honest with you, the results are not fantastic so far. Let me work this and I'll get back. All right, well, that was fun. That silicone remover, it took some time. If you let it sit on there, it would dissolve it a little bit, but it was really not fantastic. So I wouldn't not recommend it, but I did use some brake clean as well, and I'm just going to go back over and wipe it down a couple more times. I've been going over this with clean rags and brake clean on it, just to make sure it's clean. And then I'm going to go and take, there's metal surface prep wipes that Ford sells, and go back over it one more time. I'll hit both sides of that and then get ready for this to go back in. Okay, I got the surfaces cleaned, and the RTV, the Ford RTV, is applied on the pan, and also at the 4 spots where the case separates. Those 2 in the back and these 2 in the front. All right, so the pan's in. You definitely could have used 2 people to do it. It was pretty heavy to get in place. So they want you to torque the first stage to 18 inch-pounds like I have there within 10 minutes. So after that, 1 through 8, 10 through 14, 9 through 25 to 159. I think I said foot-pounds, I meant inch-pounds. And then once they're done, then 9 through 15 and 9, 15 through 18 to 159 inch-pounds, plus 90 degrees. All right, so the oil cooler's in, and the hose is connected. What I did was clean off the back with some brake clean, and there was some new gaskets already on the upper oil pan, so just made sure everything was nice and clean. I hand tightened all these bolts. They wanted you to do it in a certain sequence for hand tightening, and I just ignored that part. So it seemed kind of redundant, but because they don't want you to do a sequence for the regular tightening. So anyway, hand tightened all of them, and then went back around. They want you to start with number 1, going clockwise, or I'm sorry, counterclockwise, and 18 inch-pounds all the way around, and then coming back around and starting with number 1 again, and counterclockwise, 89 inch-pounds. So that's about it. I am going to clean up the lower oil pan and get that installed. Those are 89 inch-pounds as well. And I have a diagram here, but it's going to take some time, so I'm going to end the video here. And next video I'll be doing is getting this puppy back into the frame. So thanks for watching.